Right.
Okay. Hi, Emlyn. Thank you for joining my interview.
Hello, Madeline.
My
I'm very glad to join your interview.
my topic is um on the embedded practice of sustainability in Latinx culture. So I'm gonna start with my interview questions now. The first one is, would you consider yourself an environmentalist?
I don't think I consider myself an environmentalist just because I don't know a lot about it, so I don't want to claim that. Yeah.
Okay, my next question, what is your opinion on sustainability and environmental practices? Like, what does that mean to you?
From what I know, I feel like they are important to our environment, I guess like the world and like all of that. And what does it mean to me? Like no littering, um, reusing your stuff or like composting. So yeah, just being useful of your things, like giving it more uses than just one.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what are examples of sustainable practices that you grew up with?
I guess reusing like the store bags, the plastic bags, or like Tupperware instead of like actually buying Tupperware, like the crema or the sour cream containers,
Mm.
or even like the coffee containers. I know my mom and grandma use those for their licuados or something like that.
Mm.
And I guess like my composting is finishing my food because I can't throw anything away, or I give it to my dogs. But yeah, mainly reusing the the containers and the bags.
Okay. And do you feel that your cultural upbringing influenced the way you think about the environment?
I feel like it does have an impact, but I don't think I ever like now that you mention it, like I see where like the environmentalist from the culture comes from. But
Mhm.
before, I don't think I would have thought about it that way. I think it's just something that's like integrated that I'm used to. So I never thought about it like in an environmental way. So I wouldn't say it influenced the way I think about the environment since I never thought about it like that way.
It was so normalized, like the way that you were like doing things, like saving like the
Yeah.
containers or like the bags, that it didn't think you didn't think of it as like from like an environmentalist point of view. It was just
Yeah.
like how your family did things.
Yeah, they just did it, so I did it and I was used to it. So I don't think it necessarily influenced it, but it could like I don't know how to explain it. Like it didn't directly influence it. Like if you ask me what influenced what you think about environment, I wouldn't say that.
Mm.
But I do definitely think it has an influence like on certain things. Yeah.
And then a follow-up question to that is from like how you were raised, like saving those
Hmm.
bags and like things, do you still do that like on your own today?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. Like when I go to the store and I get like plastic bags, I just stuff them in a like a cubby we have with the bags. Or and if I need something like some food to go and I don't have Tupperware, I just grab like a container that fits, like that's big enough for the food I want to take, or even like the mason jars from like the chiles. I
Mm.
sometimes use those to drink my water just because it's more aesthetic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my next question is, why do you think these practices why do you think these practices of sustainability are so common in Latinx culture?
I feel like since a lot of like I guess like the Latinx community and like their cultures, they come from like low income families or like they don't have much. So it's like a form of saving money. So like instead of buying like spending money on like certain like things like Tupperware or like reusable bags, they reuse what they have and it's a form of like I guess like saving up. Cause I do know that like at least my parents, not that we don't have money to buy them, but they're kind of like, oh, is that a necessary thing when we could reuse it?
Yeah.
Like reuse something.
Like making the
So I
most
don't,
of your resources.
yeah. So I think that's what it is. Yeah, just like making the most out of it. Cause I also know like in Mexico they use the plastic bags to make like bags to go buy groceries. I don't know how like yeah.
Oh
So I
yeah,
think
like
it's
the
yeah, it's
knitted
a
ones, kind of.
yeah, the knitted ones are with the bottle cans, the Capri Sun ones.
Hmm.
So I feel like if they don't use it for like food or something, they reuse it like to make something like a purse. Like instead of spending
Yeah,
money on a purse, that's what they'll do.
they upcycle it.
Yeah.
Hmm. And my next question is, how does your family participate in green decision making?
Um, okay. So my dad works at a recycling center. So at home, like if we like get the plastic bottles, like the water bottles or soda, we save them. Or like with food wise, we either give them to our dogs or we throw everything in the trash, but my dad at work has to separate it, so he like separates it for us. So I don't think there's like a concrete like thing like within my family, like, oh, we're gonna compost and stuff, but I feel like it's definitely there. Like my dad sometimes integrates it into us, or he does it at his own job. Like when if he throws garbage over there, then like he'll go and separate like the greens and the cardboard and all that.
Would you say that like green decision making is more based on economic like money saving skills?
Mm, can you reward them?
Yeah, so like
I'm
instead of
sorry.
like instead of saying, oh, like I'm gonna like save like the environment and I'm
Mhm.
gonna do something for the earth, they the way that they think of it
Okay,
is,
yeah, yeah.
oh, like I'm trying to
Gonna
save
save
money, I'm
money.
trying to save
Yeah,
like yeah.
I think it definitely has to do that. I feel like my parent like they don't really think about like the environment. Um, so yeah, I think it definitely has to do with money. So like say like if like I'm a person that doesn't eat a lot. So if I don't finish my food, I'm kind of forced to finish it just because it's like, oh, food is like too expensive to be throwing it away or stuff. They never like, oh yeah, you can't throw it away because like the environment or like
Hmm.
say we're gonna if you keep throwing food away, we're gonna have to buy more and then that means killing more animals or like more plants and stuff like that. So I don't think they think about it in that way. So I think it's more like money based.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It just so happens that their money saving
Hmm.
corresponds to like sustainable practices.
Yes.
Okay. And how does your community contribute to the environment? How do you think like the Latinx community, like we've been talking about like
Hmm.
how do they contribute?
I feel like well they contribute in a lot of ways, even if they don't like it's not their intention. It's like feel like by even like recycling the cans or the flags. And I know like a lot of families now they do compost. Like say like people have like farms or like chickens. I've seen that like their like compost, they give it to them or
Hmm.
like their gardening. So I feel like there's a lot of like ways that they contribute, but it's like not like, okay, I'm gonna go do this because I want to save the environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you want more specific examples,
That's
but
okay.
okay.
I guess my last question is, in what ways have you adopted green practices, like based on like how like you were brought up?
Okay. Um, so I feel I don't know. Okay, wait, no time out. I do know. I think it's just I have to actually think about it because like since like I was saying, I don't like it's not like okay, we're gonna do this because of that.
Yeah.
But I feel like we said, recycling certain things I've contributed just because I've slowly started doing that. Also, at like friends' house, like my Hispanic friends' house, I've seen that a lot of them like compost and like separate their paper, their garbage, and all of that. So that has like definitely helped, and I've like slowly integrated that at home because I used to just throw everything in the trash, but now I
Mhm.
like with cans, like if you can like trade them in, then I'll like save those. Or like the milk bottles, sometimes I'll use that for like water or yeah, I don't know if that's what you were asking, but
No, that's like those are good examples.
mhm.
That's kind of everything. Thank you for joining my interview.
Alrighty, Madeline. I'm very happy to have been interviewed by you.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna stop recording now.